Is Ag1 a scam? What commission do you get for shilling it? What do you really think about what I eat in a day videos? Good morning. Today I'm going to answer some deep, riveting, groundbreaking questions. I'm going to bring you through a regular day in the life. We're going to do a workout, we're going to eat some yummy food, we're going to do my skincare, hair care, makeup, and just answer some questions you guys left me, from what's in my bag to is Ag1 a scam? Number one, what is my biggest ick in the fitness industry? Anyone who's like super narrow-minded. I see all the time like weightlifting people being like, oh, runners look so old. Pilates girls saying weights will make you bulky. Like just that demonizing other forms of movement. If you have a specific goals, there's ideal ways to live. But I'd rather someone move. Like the fitness industry nitpicks so much for the average consumer doesn't care about. Like if you're just appealing to bodybuilders, yes, you can nitpick. Let's just get people enjoying working out. Do you know what I mean? Like, can we make it fun and be a little bit less angry? Oh yeah, and anything fake. Steroids, plastic surgery, photoshopping, all those. Props to anyone who just at least admits they do it. But lying you do it? Ooh. You got BBL and you sell booty workouts? Oh, ick. You sell workout plans and you're on roids and you don't tell people? Ick. How does it feel to split my time between Sweden and Canada? Being 100% honest, mixed. I feel so lucky that I get to, because it is two countries I love. I love so many of the cultures of Sweden. I love the nature of Canada. I love being Canadian. I truly do. It's such an amazing country. There's so many different types of people in Canada, and like you can do anything, and it's a beautiful country, and my people are here, which I love, like family, friends. And Sweden has such a great quality of life, and it's also equally beautiful, and the love of my life is there, and we have such a great community there. But the back and forth is really tough. Like I would love to just have our forever home and like start building a life, but being in long distance, like you have to pick, and we're trying to build a life in both places. So it's tough. It's tough going back and forth. It's tough being away from Megs, but all I can do in this chapter of our life is just lean into it. And I think that's the only way to get through, instead of being like, oh, it'd be so nice to just like have our forever home and start setting up roots. And like, I feel I've moved so much and don't have roots for so long. I think all you can do in these chapters of life is just like lean into the best parts of it and gaslight yourself. The bad stuff ain't there. Just kidding. That's not advice. Is Lululemon worth the price? One of the biggest reasons I promote Lulu on this channel is because of it being worth the price. It is expensive, I won't lie, but I'm gonna use this set as an example. This is the Espresso Align set I got last year. It came in this year. It still looks brand new. Everyone's commenting like, oh my God, Keltie, you're wearing the new Lulu set. I've gotten this comment so many times. This is last year's model. It looks brand new. My thing with Lulu is just get colors you love or are timeless. Like a brown in the fall will always be there. So it's definitely an initial investment, but you can get secondhand Lulu, which is great. And you can also sell your Lulu and get a lot of your money back. And that's why I like it. It's just, for the most part, it's gonna last you so long. Like actually, I'm gonna show you guys something. This pair, ooh, Keltie, the new burgundy Lulu that just released, 8 years old. 8 years old. How'd you get over the fear of trying new things? As an adult, this sometimes becomes harder. Loved your learning to dance ballet videos. Please do more of those. How's the dance going? Exposure therapy. I would consider this like a muscle. It's something you can build. Maybe I'm just like not as socially as an anxious person, so I definitely have that ability, luckily. And I think that's just from playing a lot of sports growing up, honestly, and just always having to be on new teams. But in terms of like getting over the fear of trying new things, the first time I tried something new, I was so embarrassed. Especially as an adult, you're like, you're an adult, you should be able to do things. And like trying things you've never done is embarrassing. But after the first time, you're like, I survived. And then you do it again and again and again. And you're like, life's not that deep. Like, how egotistical would I be to think I'm gonna try ballet for the first time and be good? Like, do you know what I mean? Of course I'm gonna be bad, and just have some fun with it. Just laugh. And I think just lean into the humor of it, lean into the funness of it. Get a little dizzy. It's because I've been focusing on singing. Actually, I'd love to hear from you guys. In my second channel, I'm having a bit of trouble with like where to put all my musical training, because it's a little bit on this channel, I do, but in terms of singing, dancing, do you want this on this channel? Should I do a second channel? Anyways, dancing, not really coming, but singing, Sabrina Carpenter, watch out. Just kidding, just kidding. Like that's it. I'm never gonna be Sabrina Carpenter, but like I can be pretty decent at karaoke maybe. What kind of movements do I do when I feel like doing nothing? whatever seems too easy. Like I make it like almost to the point you're like, that's barely working out. I'll do one of two things. I'll go on a walk, but I say I only have to go for 5 minutes and go as slow as humanly possible. But once you get going, you start getting into it. Second, I'm just gonna do some stretching, and the easiest stretching you can possibly do. And you're like, only 30 seconds. And third option, I'll be like, I'm just gonna do some bicep curls. Just make it so easy just to get yourself going. And then once you get yourself going, momentum, endorphins hit, and then you're good to go. But trick yourself that you're only going to do it for like 30 seconds and as easy as possible. How long have you been running? I guess it's almost 5 years now. I started December 2019 as like a running, as in like I'm going for a run. Of course I ran before that, and I did a lot of sports involved running. Like I was a basketball player. So I always ran, but in terms of like I'm a runner, December 2019, we're approaching 5 years. Wow. How to get into running as an athlete and to get out of the trance to see it as punishment. This was the hardest thing for me. Growing up, you only ran when you were being punished because you lost a game, things like that. Like get to the line still causes shivers up my spine. And I think it was just going for fun, not doing times, not doing distance, like just get out there and go. I found the run streak actually really helpful for me because it was a way to track and feel accomplished, but not have to go with every run being like set amount of kilometers, set distance. I was like, every day I'm just going to go out and run. What feels good to my body? And just having that intuitive approach really helped me see it as like a time for me and not going fast, going like slow, zone 2. So you didn't get that like acid feeling that we all know that acid feeling in the throat. Hi Keltie, when are you going to start a run streak again? And will you aim to run a marathon? Really inspiring when you did the 1 year run streak. Would love to see more. Maybe I might do 30 days again. Just like sometimes it's a fun little thing, but I found it didn't really serve me at some point. Like it started to make me resent running. So if I could do it where it just got my momentum up again for running, that would be, and I would like limit myself at 30 days. Like you're only doing this for 30 days. And I don't know if I'll run a marathon. I think I will one day just as a bucket list item, but I do worry there's so many people online right now that running's in that they think you're a runner, you have to run a marathon. And running a marathon isn't always the best thing. Like you could debate it's not great for you. It's a lot of time, it's a lot of money, it's really hard on the body. And so I just don't like the idea that like if you're a runner, you have to run a marathon. So sometimes I'm like, maybe I just hold my ground and just be like, just run, have it a part of your lifestyle and not do like the extremes of it. That being said, one day I have to run a marathon. I know I just contradict myself, but one day I will when I'm in the right headspace for it. But I'm really trying to hold out and not doing it till it's like, this is truly what I want to do. And I'm not doing it for social media because I think the best thing for social media is to be like, hey, we can all run without doing a marathon. Because I think it's a slippery slope pipeline. What's your favorite challenge you've done? My Olympic stretching routine and my run streak. I am really proud of my run streak. And the Olympic stretching routine was like the first time I really saw changes in my body from something. Like your body can change physically, but I was never mobile. I was never flexible. And then suddenly I was like, I'm like one of the flexible girls in my friend group. So that was so cool for me. And that's a hint to something that I'm working on that's going to be releasing in January 2025. Stay tuned for that. Anything you would recommend to an 18-year-old girl going into fitness? Education. Education should be number one. Teach yourself about nutrition, progressive overload, listen to people with science, degrees, all that, and just educate yourself and not be influenced just by what you see on social media, Pinterest, just those like magazines. Really go to the sources, really figure out who the sources are and have fun with it. Have fun with it and just find a way that it becomes a hobby. Think of fitness a bit more of a hobby versus an actual like workout habit thing. Like just being like, oh, I enjoy tennis, I enjoy running, I enjoy weightlifting, and just always take at it with a balanced approach. And if I had to look back at my former 18-year-old self, I just wish I found things that were like more fun and had a bit more of an outlet, a goal to train for, and take advantage. You're 18. Do some weights, do some cardio, and do some mobility, and don't overthink it. The biggest foundation I have where I think I got to a good place is just educating myself about the science of nutrition and training versus just being like, oh, trying the new fad. What is my current workout split? Which exercise do you do within the split? Right now, I've fallen off weights, which I'm getting into, hence the challenge in 2024. And that's just like reality. Yes, you should weightlift every week, but I fall off and I get back onto it. And I think that's where I've gotten where I am. I always get back onto it, but I'm not going to pretend like every week is the exact same and I'm perfect and really rigid about it. I think like I just always try to return back to 2 to 4 times a week of some kind of resistance training, whether that be weights or like a Pilates reformer. My goal would be to do mobility, so stretching like 5 times a week, but reality, it's 2 to to 4 times before or after a weightlifting workout. And then I usually do like 3 forms of cardio a week. One, like a shorter run, something that's a bit more VO2 max training, so like some sprints. And then I'll do something a bit longer. Sometimes that's a hike, sometimes that's a slow, long run, sometimes it's a really long hot girl walk. And that's what ends up being my split. So like a Monday will be weights, Tuesday will be a short one, Wednesday might be Pilates, Thursday will be some sprint intervals before or after weights. Friday, I might miss my workout. I might just go do some mobility things. Saturday, I'm doing something long and slow. And then Sunday, I'm just doing whatever fuels my soul. And that's kind of roughly how my split ends up working. And then I change it up depending on my challenge. And I try and just throw in mobility as much as I possibly can. So I found this recipe for this spiced pumpkin butter. Oh, Half Baked Harvest. I love her. Her recipes are phenomenal. So I'm going to attempt to make that for breakfast with you. What do you really think about what I eat in a day videos? Toxic. Okay. Not really, but yes, a little. Let me explain. One, the body checking issue is a problem. And that's the one thing is like someone shows their body and then they show what they eat and just the average consumer sees, oh, how I get this body is eat exactly like this. Then the second part is like, does the person actually even eat like that? Like what I eat in a day. One of the things is like, they might pretend to eat a lot less. They might pretend to eat a lot more. They might eat really healthy this day just to show that they're eating healthy. On the flip side, they might show that they eat a lot of junk when in reality, they never eat junk food to try and promote healthiness. Like you never know. And the reality is like, even if someone's 100% honest and just posts whatever they do, they're not eating that way every day. But I just think of like the toxic, what I eat in a day, 1200 calorie diets of the early 2000s in magazines. And like what I eat in a day can be that. But at the same time, I do enjoy what I eat in a day. And I think they can just be a fun way to like see a bunch of recipes. And like, it's interesting. Do I still consume the content? Yes, but I don't really know the answer with this. I do think the body checking is not great in the, you know, the ab shots at the beginning and all that. We need to get over that. But even like myself, it's what gets people to watch. Actually, we're going to use my breakfast as an example of like one of the problems I see with what I eat in a day as someone who creates content and someone who consumes content. Okay, let's try this pumpkin butter. It's pretty good. I think it'll be better once it's cooled in the fridge. But let's be honest, would I have made this had I not had a YouTube video? Probably not. I don't think I'd take the extra effort. I'd probably just buy the store-bought. Or I would just mix like protein powder or maple syrup in pumpkin and put it on toast. Like I wouldn't actually go through the 20-minute effort of making it. But I'm like, oh, it's for YouTube, it's fun. Let's make it a little fun, little something. So it's not that I wouldn't do it normally, but I definitely like tried to level up because I'm being filmed. Be careful with this. If you have white walls, I now have pumpkin splatter all up my walls. On the flip side, normally a breakfast for me would be bread, tortilla, some kind of carb, some kind of fruits and vegetables, some healthy fats, and some kind of protein. So I'd have eggs, an omelet, some turkey bacon, leftover, whatever it is, or like Greek yogurt. Now I didn't have Greek yogurt, I just had regular yogurt, but I still wanted the regular yogurt. I mixed some nuts in it, but I was at the store yesterday and I saw this Reese's, like Reese's brand protein bar. I'm like, oh my God, I need to try this. I need to try it. Now, normally when I have a protein bar as my source of protein with breakfast, probably not. But then it's what goes through my mind. I'm like, oh, it's probably a bit better to show whole food things to my audience and it's prettier. This is being lazy. This is me being lazy. But honestly, if I wasn't filming, this is what I do. Do I have a protein bar every single day as my protein source for breakfast? No, but I love a protein bar. And today, this is honestly what I do because I saw it. I was like, ooh, I'm gonna have it. Could I have gotten protein by having Greek yogurt instead of it? Yes, but you know what I mean? There's so much thought pattern that like you can't not be influenced by the camera. And so I think we just all have to go in with an eye that the influencer could be telling the truth. Exactly, and like good for them if they can just churn it off and they just went about the day. But even as an influencer, you have to acknowledge the impact you have if you're posting online, that you can influence other individuals. Like some days we don't have great meals and that's fine. Like your meal can be whatever and like not every meal is gonna be perfect and that's fine, that's life. Like sometimes you just have a protein bar for your protein sources and that's fine. And sometimes you forget to have protein at a meal and that's fine. And you wanna try your best. You wanna have carbs, healthy fats, proteins, micronutrients, fiber, as many meals as you can, but it's okay if you're not perfect. And just realize as an influencer, I think it's just a tough thing. If you're filming, you have to acknowledge the influence you have on people and you want to be a good influence, but at the same time, you have to be authentic. And it's towing that line because authentically, we don't always eat perfectly. And it's a bad image to pretend you don't eat perfectly. But like say I was running late and all I had was half an apple in this protein bar. I'm going to post that online and people will be like, oh my God, that's an awful breakfast. She's starving herself. She just ate a protein bar and an apple. And it's true, that's not a good breakfast, but I'll have a bigger lunch. I was just rushed and sometimes that's life. Sometimes we don't have the time to sit and have 3 great meals. That's ideal, but that's not life. But then you post that online and people are like, oh my God, she just eats an apple for breakfast. No, I don't. You know what I mean? On the flip side, say I go and have like a big brunch with my friends and I have waffles and all this kind of stuff. And people are like, oh my God, she's promoting all this sugar at breakfast. I'm like, I don't have just waffles and bacon every breakfast, but sometimes I do. And I think that's the trickiness, is realizing just be critical thinking. And I know that's a long rant about what I eat in the days, but I think they've been great. And I think you just have to take them as inspiration and realize people might not be eating that way. Even if they eat that way, everyone's conscious that a camera is on. And so there's a narrative. And my narrative today was, this was really random. I was like, I have this vision of this apple in a pecan, this dip. Underwhelming. What is the biggest myth you've ever believed about wellness, exercise, nutrition, mental health, etc.? Ooh, rapid fire. Salt makes you bloated. It does, but not fully. Nutrition guidelines are sometimes just for deficiency, not optimization. At one point, lifting weights makes you bulky. I haven't thought that for years, but at one point I did. That HIIT is the best form of cardio. And boss babe grind style, you don't need to sleep. I want a review of this. Oh, those little things on it. Those are scrumptious. It's a little, inside's a little chewy. It just tastes like Reese's peanut butter. Oh, this is better than this. I need a what's in my makeup bag. I'm just gonna bring you guys through my makeup routine as I answer some questions and you'll see what's in my bag. First, my favorite sunscreen. I love the Drunk Elephant. How is your red light doing? I just saw your video from 6 months ago. Okay, then I go in with just a little bit of Bare Minerals Tinted Moisturizer. I was really consistent and then I started traveling and then I fell off. I definitely saw some benefits and the science coming out does make it seem like it's a thing. I forget to do it. Next, the foundation I use is a CC cream by It Cosmetics, the OG. I get a fair one and a light one, and one's warm and one's cool because I'm neutral undertone. And then I just hybrid it depending on if I have a self-tan. What are your thoughts on aging? Any fears or concerns surrounding health and looks as you get older? Oh, it's running low. There might not be any left. I'd be lying if I said that I didn't have fears. It's a weird thing when like my face, like that's the thing you guys see the most on this channel is my face. It's a weird thing because I think in like the entertainment world for the longest time it was reamed in front of us that once a woman turns like 25, it's like out with the bathwater and it's all downhill. And it was true, like that was definitely Hollywood. Like, you know, it did concern me a lot. Like any age above 25, I was like, oh my God, is this the end of my career? It's always forever comments about your appearance, whether you look older or younger than you are, and it's concerning. And like, I like what I look right now. Like if I could stay like this forever, I would. But at the same time, we have the technology to stop it now. But at the same time, there gets to be a point where like I'm spending so much of my money and time instead of just enjoying life and aging gracefully. And part of me wants to just age gracefully because I think that's, you know, how we change the narrative of it being like a bad thing. But at the same time, you don't want to be the only one. For me, with cosmetic procedures, and I'm not against filler or Botox or anything, but the more research you look into it, I don't know if that's the fix. So I guess what's fascinating to me is like, what can we do to actually be healthier, like maintain our youth, and not to go full Brian Johnson. This is the bronzer I'll use. I'll either use it just to have like a little sun-kissed glow, or I use it for contour, which we're gonna do today because we're on camera, so I'm going my max out makeup look. Like, I like that idea of stuff we can do that actually like builds the collagen in our skin and actually keeps our skin healthy, but it's like there's so much stuff that like costs so much money and doesn't actually do that much. And so I kind of actually want to experiment on this channel. Like I'm constantly researching like what's actually worth people's money, and I wonder if my channel can be that for women. I would love to hear from you guys. Like there's all these procedures and lasers and all this, and it's so overwhelming, and like I'm overwhelmed. And sometimes I think like when I'm overwhelmed, I'm like, I guess I could be the person like to try this stuff, but at the same time, I also don't want to pressure people into think they have to spend thousands of dollars to do all these procedures just for aesthetics and a look. So I guess it's a tough thing, and it does consume a lot of my thoughts of like, how do I do it and be a good role model, but how do I also be a good role model in maintaining health? I think it's a balance, and I just think we're in this crazy time right now that like we can document everything, and we're starting to get to those places that these procedures actually kind of work. Versus in the past, it was like if someone was saying like 10 years ago, if someone was promising you all these anti-aging benefits, it was probably like, oh, that's fake. But now it's like, oh no, that stuff actually works. A lot of thoughts there. Also really struggle with skin picking. Do you have any tips on stopping and best skincare products for scars, inflammation from skin picking? Next, I seal it up with the Kosas powder, but I hate it. It always breaks. Always breaks. always the thing. So get better packaging, but I still use it, but I'm resentful. Skin picking, couple things that have worked. One, managing my stress. It is definitely a stress response and just half realizing that. So when my skin picking gets really bad, I just have to say, Keltie, you need to do self-care, not just like the bubble baths. I need to get more sleep. I need to slow down. I need to start putting up boundaries for myself. Second, right here, easiest thing. At night, this. I find like when you have these bright lights like this, you can just see everything, and I'm just sitting here and be like, oh my God, every little thing. But at nighttime, which is also good for your circadian rhythm, I turn it so only this shower light is on. So I can't really see that much. Also realizing skin picking is a coping mechanism. So just find other coping mechanisms that can give you that like same satisfaction. How'd you dress cute in the winter? I live in Saskatchewan and want to be cute and warm. That could be a whole video. I do have one video. I'm gonna, you know my shoe review series, if you follow me on TikTok and Instagram, I'm reviewing shoes. I'm gonna review it for winter products because I'm really annoyed with all of the fashion girlies being from LA. I love them, but like don't tell me how to dress in the winter, girls. Don't. Okay, wear your cute Ugg boots. Oh, you're so cute. That is not practical in -30. No. In the pouring rain in Vancouver, a pair of Uggs is a death sentence. I'm going with Charlotte Tilbury for bronzer, but I find a couple tips. Look into materials, learn like performance materials and what will actually keep you warm and sweat wicking. So, you know, cotton isn't sweat wicking. So like take into account things like really read the description and do your research and just make sure things keep you dry and warm and layers. And if you're gonna spend money on anything, it's a jacket and your shoes. That's definitely the two things, because if you just have a good winter jacket that's actually cute, weatherproof, windproof, oh, makes or breaks it. How do you deal with negative body image and self-esteem? That is a forever practice and I'm still not fully there yet. But my one tip for confidence that has always worked for me, and you've probably heard on this channel, in my challenges, is confidence is just keeping the promises you make to yourself. So if you say you're going to do something, do it. Set up your life so you're able to do it, and like don't take on more than you can. But my confidence has always been great when I set out to do something and I do it. And I say I'm going to do these things and do it. And it's just like, it's trust in yourself. And I feel like that's where confidence comes from. And self-esteem, I think, comes from just doing stuff you really enjoy about your life so much and being around people that you love so much and doing the things you love so much that like you don't care about other people because you enjoy your life so much. And way easier said than done, especially like bad body days. But also I think we could go in the whole talk of like body positivity, but lack of better terms, just to put a term on it, body neutrality, I think is the key. And I know I feel best about my body when I do things with my body instead of what my body looks like. Whether it be dress for practicality, learn how to do a yoga move. I think that's why running is so cool, but not have everything fixated about how my body looks. Mascara, we're gonna do Merit, which is my absolute favorite, mostly because it's really hydrating. I wouldn't say it's like the most like volume or anything or long lasting, but it's just really hydrating. For me, that's what I look for. I have very sensitive eyes, so make sure my eyelids don't get red and just like hydrate my eyelashes. This may sound weird, but how do you deal with travel bloating and constipation? Sometimes you just accept it. I find just trying to get on a regular eating schedule as soon as you can. Drink a lot of water, keep up with your fruits and veggies. Your take on Capsule Wardrobe, and are you implementing and how? I've always been a fan of the Capsule Wardrobe idea, but I've never really been able to nail it. And I think I realize why now, is I think it's more about developing your personal style and what will work for you. Because I think there's so many of these Pinterest things online of how to build your capsule wardrobe and all the things you need. And I do think if you have a specific style that could work really well, like you need a couple pairs of jeans, a white t-shirt, a trench coat, just the classic things. But that's not everyone's style. And I think you can end up buying all these products and you don't use because they don't work for you. But at the end of the day, the concept of the capsule wardrobe is the goal. It's just like everything in your closet be intentional. It's something you like, something you actually wear, and something that makes you feel like the best version of yourself. But that doesn't necessarily mean the classic white jean, dark jean, nude trouser, white t-shirt, black t-shirt, trench coat, wool sweater. Like it doesn't just have to be that. And now if you want to dress really classically, yes, that's great. But I think what worked for me is just doing a ton of research of putting together outfits and outfits and outfits, and I favorite outfits and pinning and matching, and then finding the articles, the main pieces of clothing that came up in those alls so I could recreate those outfits the most amount of time, and that's where I spent my money on. Also, props to Rihanna for she's just the queen of a wide range for all skin types, hair types. I have never found an eyebrow pencil that actually is light enough for my eyebrows because I am naturally very light hair. So anytime I even got like the platinum blonde, it was still like darker than my eyebrows. Like I was like, I just need to pencil them in. I'm not trying to make my eyebrows darker, but finally Rihanna's, it's the lightest light blonde. It's the lightest she has, and it actually is the color of my eyebrows. So thank you, Rihanna. She is just the best. She deserves to be a billionaire. My God, move aside, Mark. Zuck, Bezos, move aside. Move aside. Rihanna. I'll fight for her. Best dupe for the Rhode peptide. Oh my God. It's still $22, which Canadian, which is ridiculous, but it lasts so long. I only put this on once a day and I'm good. The SOS Lip Softy by Tower 28. Which is the best protocol you've implemented in your wellness journey? Walks. Like there's obviously physical benefits of it, but just the mental benefits of like me being able to process my own emotions, problem solve, come up with creative ideas. How's your financial education coming along? You mentioned finance being something you wanted to improve at the start of the year. Do you feel you've made any progress? No hard numbers or stats necessarily. A general update would be cool. I'm working on a video for you guys. I wish I could have had an update sooner. It's just like I'm so uneducated and it's taken so long, so I'm trying to do it the right way, that there's no real updates. Slowly, it was like my first step was putting all my debt into one spot and then realizing how to budget and just educating myself about finances, even like getting rid of the highest debt versus trying to invest in money, or is there time to invest is more important than paying off debt, and just realizing that. But I am working on something. If you guys didn't know, I have a lot of debt from student loans and medical issues that came up, and I'm dealing with that. And it's also, yeah, a video is coming, but moral of the story, I'm chipping away. I'm way better than I was last time we talked. I swear I'm halfway there, and it's been a process, humbling process, but it's coming along. What actually reduces stress? I could give you so many ideas, but I'm just gonna give you two that you can instantly do. Take a deep breath and hug someone. Just hug someone for like 20 seconds. The oxy hormone, I'm blanking on it. I wanna say Oxycontin, but that's not right. Just hold someone for like 20 seconds or just, and just doing that, you can like instantly reduce your stress. It doesn't get rid of the stress that's causing it, but you can just like physically reduce the stress being felt in your body. What happened to Her Way to Harmony? So if you guys didn't know, I started Her Way to Harmony at the beginning of the year, and it was kind of like my creative outlet in terms of YouTube and like music and trying to combine the two. And I kind of started like forcing videos combined that shouldn't be. And I was like, no one wants this, and it's not really health and wellness and like bettering yourself, but it's not really fully music. And I was like forcing the Her Way to Harmony, but it's not done. I just started to realize, I was like, okay, not every video has to be an episode of Her Way to Harmony, but Her Way to Harmony will be anytime I do anything musical related, it will be that. Or anytime I just feel like a real need for my creativity out and just finding the beauty in life, and then it will be like a Her Way to Harmony episode. So it's kind of an ongoing series, but at the same time, I do like want to do videos of like, I learned to dance in 30 days, I learned to sing in 30 days, like really into my music, but I don't know if it has a place on this channel, even though I know a lot of you would like that. I think it would do better on a separate channel. So I'm thinking on my second channel where I post my workout streams of starting to do some more music-based challenges / vlogs. So like this will be my fitness side, that'll be my music side. Let me know down in the comments what you guys think about that. But you have got to come in here. I'll put you here. And we'll see you at the office. Bye, bye. Hello and welcome back, and we're here at the office. Do you ever do anything with your element besides add water? I've heard of people getting a little creative with the chocolate flavors. Yes and no. No, as I'm not as creative as some people, but something I've done with the chocolate one is I actually put it in my Ninja Creamy. Oh my God, so good. I just put it with like some milk, delicious. Then with the more citrusy flavors, I have blended with ice to make like a makeshift margarita, and I've also used the citrus flavor as the base of margarita. But in terms of the chocolate ones, I normally just make it like hot cocoa. So I just add hot water to it, sometimes a little flavor, and sometimes I add some milk if I want a vibe. But I'm gonna do a makeshift of this mocha. Try this right now. Here's my element mocha. So it's espresso, a pack element, and some milk. Let's give it a go. But oh, that's nice. I can get behind that. And why I can get behind it is because it's not just delicious, it's also beneficial, especially if you're working out. And electrolytes are something that are so beneficial because they help improve my energy, help my performance, help get rid of cramps, and especially if you're someone into running or working out, it's so beneficial. And I love Element first because it tastes so good. Like, I use it almost as water flavoring. Don't use it as water flavoring because I don't recommend using multiple ones of these a day unless you're like some crazy endurance athlete. But for me and the amount of activity I do a day, I take about one a day. If I do some kind of crazy running event, sometimes I'll do two. It really just depends on you. But I do love Element because it's science-based ratio of 1,000 milligrams sodium, 200 milligrams of potassium, and 60 milligrams of magnesium. It's trusted by so many professionals, health professionals on podcasts and YouTube we all look up to, NBA players, NFL players, NHL players, a ton of professional athletes, and it's a great way to get electrolytes in because when you sweat and you work out, you don't just lose water, you also lose electrolytes. And of course, I'm not going to talk about Element and not give you guys a code. If you go to drinkelement.com/Keltie, you'll get one of their sample packs with your purchase. This is a great way to try all 8 flavors or share with a salty friend. Once again, that's drinkelement.com/Keltie. Make sure to check out their holiday flavors like the chocolate chai, chocolate mint. Oh, so good. If you had a traditional 40-hour work week, would you still work out as much? I do, because ironically, I do work a 9 to 5 in a lot of ways. It doesn't seem like that, but most of my job is actually at the office on a computer 9 to 5, and I try to stick those. And I do most of my workout filming when I would work out, which is in the morning before the office, and I still get there 9 to 10. If anything, it'd be pretty equal. I think I'd actually just be more consistent. Like, I wouldn't try so many different challenges all the time just because it's trending. I would stick a bit more to what feels good. So no, I don't think so. What achievement are you most proud of? I think DJing to a concert, graduating music production school, becoming a YouTuber, working with Lululemon, anytime I make a video that you guys really enjoy. Those would be my, I guess, proudest achievements. So cheesy. Is Ag1 a scam? What commission do you get for shilling it? Spill some tea. Now, first, if it's a scam, I've been scammed too because I've been drinking it every day for 5 years. That's why I promote it, because it's something I genuinely drink every single day. Now, I know the commission and the shilling. Let's talk about it. There's that Brian Johnson video, and he did like a hit piece on it. I won't lie. This is bad of me. I haven't seen the whole thing. I watched some of it. I saw the summaries, and I want to kind of debunk it because I don't make any commission. So one of his biggest hits on like Ag1 is that all these podcasters and YouTubers are like making this commission. So for every sale and every time you get a link, we get a % of it. So we're just salesmen. I personally do not know a single person that makes any commission off Ag1. I get a paid like set fee. Blank, we do in a contract. They're usually like, hey, do you want to do 1 video a month for a year? And then we'll sign it and they pay me a flat fee for every video. And I personally like that because I like that I don't actually have to sell you guys anything. If anything, I just think of my YouTube videos as like billboards. They're just marketing. You can skip it. You can put in your subconscious. I don't get any benefit if you buy it or not. And I personally like that because I'm not like overly incentivized to like really try and sell it to you. I just show the product, and if the product speaks for itself, you can buy it and just like inform you. Aside from a couple clothing sponsors, none of my videos I get commission. And like that was his big thing with it, is like doing the math of them getting this many views. And something about it is like them being salespeople. I just personally have a lot of friends who work in this space who have been sponsored by Ag1, and not a single one of us makes commission. So right there, I just want to debunk like the Brian Johnson's hate piece on Ag1, because I'm sitting here, I'm like, is everyone else making commission? Because I'm not. So I don't know if those like big Andrew Huberman, Peter Attias out there are making a commission, but I can't imagine they would, because there's people who like that. They like incentive. Like I could probably make a lot more if I just went off commission, but I don't want to. I'd rather just like not have that. I hope that makes sense. So that was my biggest thing, is him coming out, and I do find it funny. I'm just gonna put it out there. Is Ag1 the perfect product? No. The only way to be the perfect product is if every single thing in it was like personally customized towards you. And guess what? We're not there. For me, ideally, I would get my blood work done every month, and we calculate exactly how much of every single nutrients I like and I need and do this. And that's great. But you know what also would be great? Living to 400, but we don't have the technology for that yet. So it's one of those, like, it gives us a bunch of different things. I love that they're like constantly reinventing and modifying their ingredients to like match what science is saying, and they're willing to adapt. And so that's what I like about it. And it does have that NSF certification. It's going to be in like the good enough for professional athletes so you can trust what's in there. And is it perfect? No, but I know I get a wide variety of nutrients. Is it going to be able to swap out with a meal replacement? No, that's not the point of it. So sometimes like when these people do these hit pieces on Ag1, I'm not saying it's perfect. If it turns out it's not great, I will ditch it, but I drink it every day and I like that it's a little extra nutrients. But I'm not coming here and saying you don't need to eat fruits and vegetables if you have it. It's just like a little bit. And in terms of of a green supplement, it's my favorite I've seen on the market. If you want to have a green supplement or not, that's up to you and you can decide on the pros and cons, but I choose to do it. I like it. I'm just going to say, let's put on our little thinking caps about Brian Johnson. So he suddenly starts doing hit pieces on AG1, okay? Like the savior that comes to everyone to go against AG1 and all this. And then ironically has a green product himself release, about a month or two after he does a hit piece on AG1. Guys, a supplement does not take 2 months to come into fruition. It takes years, especially a good supplement. Genius marketing. How do I go after the #1 green supplement on the internet and then start saying like, oh, it's so bad and this is bad and this and this and this. But guys, I have the solution. You're smarter than we're smart. His could be great. I'm not saying his isn't great. And maybe he just, I'm sure that was it. AG1, he saw some missing things and he wanted to make his own. But let's be real. That's what happened there. That's a marketing. It's genius, but that's what it was. Oh, I'm here to save the day, but in the background, I've been working on this product for 2 years and this is my marketing strategy. Editing Keltie here. I'm obviously speculating. I don't know what goes throughout his mind. I am not a mind reader of Brian Johnson. He very well could have been like, no, I hate this product. There needs to be better because people are wasting their money. I personally love the product, but at the same time, he's a great businessman. That's what I'm getting at. So I'm like, So I'm just saying marketing. He's great at it. I'm not saying it's inherently evil, but I'm just thinking out loud there that I'm like, well done, sir. Boop, boop. And I can't read his mind. I have no idea. This is all allegedly. So that's my thoughts there. As for now, I will continue to drink it. I love it. I literally send it to my family. That's all I'm going to say. And also, I don't own the company. If one day it turns out to be absolute crap, I'll be like, oh, just kidding. We'll stop drinking that. Okay, let's go some easier one. Favorite sunless tanners, Coco and Eve. I love that it's like non-toxic, not to be one of those people, but I love it. It's such a great color. Also love for a clear sunless tan is Tan Luxe, which is so nice. Like, oh, both are amazing. I miss your vlogs where you try people's routines and diets. Good to know. Comment down below. I don't love to do those a ton because I like my own routines, but every once in a while, when there's someone really interesting, I think it's a fun thing to do, but I'm not gonna force it. I'm not just gonna do a bunch of people's routines just to do it, but if there's someone really interesting and I'm fascinated about it, or it could be just a fun day in the life or a fun video for you guys, I'll do it. Can you do more vlogs that show the day-to-day of doing your challenges? I guess I could show. I've always been fascinated about doing only doing one challenge a month and like week 1 of the challenge, week 2, week 3 final of a challenge, but it would have to be a challenge you guys really, really want. So comment down below if there's a challenge you guys have just been like, you would absolutely love me to do for 30 days. And I would love to like bring you through that process and like do vlogs like leading up to it and have one grand finale. But if I'm going to do it, I have to make sure it's something I really love and you guys really love. What's the longest distance you've run without stopping? My half marathon. How do you not snack a lot at night? I do snack at night. I also kind of eat late. That's just how I choose to. But in the past when I've I know what you mean. You mean the snacking you don't want to be doing. My biggest tip, and it's not great. I know it's not what you want to hear, but just eat more during the day. I find if I'm just feeling my body during the day, it helps me be satisfied come nighttime. And then, like I said, I bet you what I do is skin picking, you do is snacking. We all have our own coping mechanisms for stress. So really just try and find coping mechanisms that work better for you. Maybe it'll be journaling, slowing down, watching a show, really getting your couch cozy. Just realize what you're doing and how you're self-soothing and what would actually soothe you that isn't sabotaging, like when I pick my skin. So snacking at night isn't my problem. It's skin picking, and it was dimming the lights, making it calm, really finding peace in my, I got an idea. Hear me out. I could be totally wrong. For me to stop skin picking, I think of my skincare as luxurious, and I try and get the satisfaction from doing my skincare, which is good for me, which I want to do. Find the satisfaction with making your snacking dinner, romanticize it. Romanticize your dinner at night, set the mood. And make a snack and really romanticize it. Plate it, make it pretty, really just feel one with your food and romanticize the making of the snack and the meal. And just doing that will cause you to be present, slow down, calm, and there'll be beauty in it. And it's not a form of self-sabotage, it's a form of nourishment. Try that. I'm pretty proud of myself. I think that's a good one because that's what worked for me. I hope. Comment down below if you have some other ideas. What is one thing that keeps people away from reaching their goals? Self-sabotage. I think it's doing too much, being overwhelmed, and then failing, and then feeling bad that they fail, so they self-sabotage more, instead of just like doing the bare minimum. Do as little as possible before it becomes a habit, and add and add and add. Can you say hello to me in a video? Just kidding. A question: do you have a different training routine every week? I will say hello to Pear Cheese. I don't know your full name, but I always see you comment and it means the world to me. Do a different training routine every week. It's consistent if I'm doing it, it just changes if I'm doing a challenge. How to stay motivated in your 20s when you're broke and nowhere near reaching your goals. Romanticize it. Enjoy this. There's that Malcolmore song. I wish somebody would have told me, babe, that someday these would be the good old days. Anyways, there's a line and he's like, you don't realize you're in the good old days when you're in it. Everything's the good old days. Everything was all 5 years ago. Remember when we were broke, living on box mac and cheese and just scraping to get by, and you'll romanticize it one day. And where I'm in right now, like me and all my friends are like, some are about to get married, some are about to have kids, and we're kind of in this like limbo area. And I think a lot of us has this need to like, oh, I gotta get married and have to save it and have to buy a house. And instead of just being like, one day we're gonna look back and be like, oh, this freedom we had. And I think with your 20s, when it's hard, I know this sounds easier and done, but realize you're in the good old days. You have this freedom. You don't have as much responsibility. You're gaining the responsibility you want, and just like try to enjoy those areas and just the freedom of it. So yes, you're broke, but you have freedom. And if I could go back to my younger self, I'm like, just appreciate that and realize that's not forever. It's like a temporary thing. You're doing nothing wrong. That's what your 20s are supposed to be. I was broke all my 20s. And it's a chapter of life. And instead of feeling bad about it, just lean into it. Do you find running a YouTube channel and also building a music career at the same time stressful? How do you manage juggling both and still being consistent? Yes. I feel this with anything in life. The nice thing is like creative outlets, I feel always overlap. Like an interior designer is naturally into fashion. Someone in fashion might be into art. Someone that's into music is into videography. So I do find like, luckily they're very similar, like video editing and music production. It's all in the same vein and like they help each other out, but it definitely is tough. I'm trying to work behind the scenes to make more systems so I can do both, but not overwhelm myself that like it drains your creativity. So it's a balance. And I'm trying to say, you know what, this is something I don't have to do tomorrow. I can lean into it and just learn. And I'm just trying to learn as much as I can and enjoy the process. It's weird doing it when I'm older, not 16, when I've got 4 years and then you're 20 and you're still young. But I'm also saying times are changing. Like, okay, so what if I make my first hit record at 38? Like, that's fine. Like, I'm just trying to lift up that I don't have to do this in the next year because I'm getting older. Like, this can be a 10-year process before I truly have found my sound, my music, and all that. And then not sacrificing my YouTube because I love my YouTube in that sense. So I think it's just working hard at it every single day, but not putting these like weird timelines on it that like, oh, I didn't do it by 25, so it's useless. Like, I think it'd be pretty cool one day if in the next 20, 30 years that we hear of like musicians for the first time when they're 45. And YouTubers and artists, and I hope that's what's happening. Any tips for those who want to start content creation as a fitness wellness person? Is the market too saturated already? You just got to start. Anything in life, you just got to start, and you won't know if you like it, you won't know if you enjoy it, you don't know how to find your own niche till you start. Anything, like you have to make 100 songs before you make a good song. I had to make hundreds of YouTube videos before I made a good YouTube video. You have to make 100 spreadsheets in accounting before you're a good accountant. Like, you won't even know till you start. So I say just start and being consistent, and I don't think anything's too saturated right now. I just think you just have to niche. And I think that's the cool thing about right now is you're no longer a fitness girly. You're a runner in Vancouver that goes to Kitsilano on the weekends. Like, it's so niche, and thanks to TikTok, like you can find your exact role models and people will find their exact communities. So I think it's not as like there's just one fitness girl anymore. It's like you'll be the fitness girl of your community, and then if you grow a big following, it will spread and spread, and then your niche won't be so niche, you'll be wider. And so I say just find what you're truly passionate, find your people, talk to your people in your community. And I think social media has become a lot more community-based, and that would be my tip. If I were starting off, I would just start Vancouver. I'd be like reviewing gym classes in Vancouver or my workout in Stanley Park, and then I would grow from there and just keep it fun. Experiment. Don't overthink it, which we all overthink it, but just start and have fun with it. And there is my question and answer. I'll ask you guys a lot of questions on that, so comment down below any challenges you guys want from me, anything you thought about these, and add on any tips that you guys have experienced. And I just wanted to make this video just to reconnect with you guys. Sometimes like I feel with my challenges and all that, like it becomes very just me talking to you, and I love when it can be a conversation between the both of us because I appreciate you guys so much. And most importantly, have a great day. Go pet a dog. Love you guys. Bye.